Welcome to Art Focus. Art Focus is a program about our local arts and culture here in Columbia. I'm very excited to have with me today Colin and Sean from the Maplewood Community Barn Theater. Welcome. Tell us all about your organization. How long have you been around? Tell us all the wonderful things.
Sure. Well, Maplewood Barn started in 1973 as a community theater out at Nifong Park. So if you can do the math, that is saying now that this is our 50th season.
year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So we're getting ready to kick off our season. And we'll be leading things off with The Odd Couple.
Wonderful.
Which will be fun, as I am in that particular cast.
Yeah.
And then we'll move from there to a little bit less fun of a show with The Crucible, then Cinderella, and Twelfth Night will be our final show for the season.
Wow, how exciting.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the environment for those that may not be aware. It's outdoors.
Yes.
Right.
It's an outdoor theater.
Talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Colin?
Being an outdoor theater does open up so many different options for us.
Sure.
Of course, we have to be leery of the weather and stuff like that, but we can have such a vast audience come and enjoy the theater. We have we have concessions for people to enjoy out there. They also can bring their own dinners, beverages, whatnot.
Picnic baskets, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
Okay.
So also being an open air theater, we actually can engage the audience in a little bit unique ways.
Sure.
We can go in and bring them into the play, be a part, make them part of the experience. So an outdoor theater is very unique. There's challenges, but it's just so much fun to have them part of the play.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Sure.
I remember I'm from Kansas City, and I remember being a little kiddo going to Starlight, and I thought it was always fun to hear, you'd hear the roar of animals, and it was always interesting. So I can imagine that you guys probably have maybe some owls that you hear and some outdoor critters that may make an appearance, whether you wanted them there or not.
Yep.
Right.
Actually just 2 days ago at rehearsal, we had midway through a dog just randomly from the park because somebody had let him off their leash to run around. Just happened to run up on the stage and pig out on some of the snacks and things that had been dropped on the stage. It was
that's
it
awesome.
was fun. Those types of things honestly happen all the time, and at this point, it doesn't really faze many of the actors. They're just rolling with it, going, "Yeah, it's the barn."
Yeah,
Yep.
that's wonderful.
The audience can bring their
pets?
dogs out. and
Okay.
That's fine. That's happened before, and with really no problems.
Yeah.
It's been very, very nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
The important thing to note is the way that our theater is set up. If you're not familiar, you will need to bring your own lawn chair or picnic blanket, and just you come out and you enjoy a nice night out on a lawn under the stars watching live theater.
That's fabulous. I can't think of anything better than maybe throw in a lake or a beach or something. Those are wonderful things to have.
Sure.
So the season you can purchase like a season-long pass, or you can
Yes.
purchase individual shows. Okay.
Yes to both.
Okay.
You can purchase season tickets online at our Ticket Leap site. If you go to maplewoodbarn.org, that will get you, information about all of the shows of this season, as well as where you can buy your season pass. The interesting thing about our season passes is also that it's not just a ticket to come and see the show once for each of our productions. You can use that pass basically and come every night to every show if you wanted to.
Yes.
Okay.
It's really a great value.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I love that it's a family-oriented type of atmosphere that, like you said, you can bring
Sure.
your four-legged
family.
family members to your two-legged family members. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So I also think I've heard about radio theater.
Yes.
And, okay, talk a little bit
We
about
do
that.
have an active radio theater program. I think it was initially started around 10 years ago, 10
Okay.
or 12 years ago. And basically what we've done is we've pulled in old time radio scripts that are in the public domain, and we have actors and actresses that will perform those and record them, and then we'll take those recordings back and throw in some sound effects, throw in some edits and stuff like that. For a long time we were promoted and we were broadcast on a local radio station. Right before COVID hit, we have changed,
Okay.
so we do not have a local radio platform anymore, but we
Oh,
now
okay.
upload ours to SoundCloud, Spotify, and posting on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So that's our radio shows,
Right.
and like I said, old-fashioned, old-time radio
Uh-huh.
scripts. We also, during the show season, we do interviews of cast members, directors, board members, talking about the season, more of a information behind the scenes, if you will.
Sure, sure.
So we do that, and for this during the season itself.
I remember listening one time. I think the station was at KBIA that you were
Yes,
on.
it
That's what I
was.
thought. And I remember I just kind of stumbled upon it, and then it pulled me in.
Yes,
And I
yes.
just absolutely loved it, and because I love to read, and so it was kind of like I was listening to an
To an
audio.
audiobook
Yeah,
almost,
and it
right?
was
Yeah.
fabulous. And I just remember thinking, I know they used to do this way back when.
Yes.
Everybody would sit around the radio and listen, and intently. So I love that aspect, and I'm glad that you're continuing that.
For those of us who are older, we do remember sitting in front of a radio,
Yeah.
listening to that stuff. Now, not old enough to remember the first broadcasts of some of those shows, but they were rebroadcasts, and it was intriguing back then, back in the 60s and 70s. We're trying to do the same thing. So.
I love that. So I'm assuming that you're going to be celebrating all summer long. Do you have
Yes.
other things in store for your audience? And
Yeah. So the first thing is that we are going to be having a big ribbon cutting event this upcoming Wednesday.
Okay.
That is the 17th.
17th.
And that's just kind of, for the Chamber of Commerce to come out and help us kick off the season. Everyone loves a good oversized pair of scissors
Yes.
and cutting a ribbon. And we are also adding now to our schedule 3 special performances in conjunction with the Ponies Improv Group.
Oh, right. Yes.
And more information to come on those, but
Okay.
they'll be performing basically Saturdays before opening nights for Crucible and Cinderella and Twelfth Night. And so just having a nice little night of improv out there
Yeah.
too, and using our space a little bit more than just for our normal productions and shows.
I love the collaboration. That's one thing I think Columbia is really good at, is that a lot of the arts organizations do work together.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
and help support each other. We're not really competing. It's, we're all in this together. And I love the fact that you're collaborating with them on that.
Oh yeah.
That's fun.
It's an interesting, Columbia's an interesting market. We have other community theaters here that have their own little style, their outreach or whatever. And it's really interesting, dialoguing and talking to them and working with the other community theaters also. So we do a lot of neat things here.
That's
Yeah.
fabulous.
And on that collaboration note too, one of the other things that we have started doing more and more is trying to make sure that with each of our productions, we try to partner with another nonprofit of some kind around town to bring up awareness for their organization as
Okay.
well. For The Odd Couple, because a lot of the jokes and things is talking about money management and Oscar's inability to do so.
Yeah.
And we are partnering with Junior Achievement,
Oh,
and
okay.
the second Saturday of that run is going to have all proceeds from its concession stand going to Junior Achievement. They'll have an information booth there.
Okay.
I forget off the top of my head who Crucible is working with.
I think Center
Center Point.
Ce-
Point.
Okay.
Or Center Project. Wait.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
That's-
remember off the top of my
Right.
head.
I'm
I
sorry.
remember that Cinderella is planning to try to do something with Cinderella's Closet,
Okay.
and I know Twelfth Night was planning the Center Project because that's very LGBTQ
Yeah.
friendly.
Center point for the Crucible.
Okay. I'm not involved
Great
in all of the shows
collaborations.
yet, but yes. But we feel like we're blessed in the space that we have and the place that we are right now to be able to do those things and find other ways to help other organizations too.
I love that. So tell me about your relationship with Parks and Management, Parks and Rec, because you don't own the building, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Right.
So Columbia Parks and Rec, after the fire that happened from the old and original barn occurred back in 2011, we partnered with Parks and Rec to get the facility rebuilt. So for those of you who have acted out at the barn before or maybe haven't been out there since the new facility has been built, there's now like running water and air conditioning.
Air conditioning, wow.
Things that they did not have
Right.
originally when we started in 1973. But Columbia Parks and Rec takes possession of the barn during our off season, so when it's cooler, and they rent out the facility. So it's actually one of the cheapest places to rent in town.
There you go.
And it's a wonderful little venue, though.
Yeah.
To be
Oh,
able
it's a
to-
great
to-
environment.
Oh
It
yeah,
really
Beautiful
is.
park.
It really
it's a
is.
beautiful
know.
park. You get just the whole run of that facility.
Right.
So it's great, and working with Parks and Rec is just wonderful. They help us tremendously with our with everything that we do too.
That's great. That's great. Anything else you want to share with everybody about the organization? What maybe some of your favorite things about the organization?
One thing I'd like to tell is that we are a community group. We are a community theater. So if there's any individuals in the audience that are passionate about theater but just not sure how to get started, just maybe a little apprehensive about getting their toes wet in community theater, come on out.
Yeah.
Look at us on the website. Look at shows. You can audition for shows or just come on out, and Sean here will show you how to run lights, run sound,
Oh,
do
wonderful.
the tech stuff. You don't have to be an expert
Sure.
or a theater guru to be involved in community theater.
I love
so just
that.
come on out and we'll take you by the hand and we'll show you how to do things.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it takes a village to be able to do everything.
Oh,
that you
really
do.
does. It
And
really
so there's a
does.
lot of needs.
Yeah.
So
And one of the things that makes our theater a little bit more unique as well is that we don't have any paid staff at all.
Okay.
It is an entirely volunteer organization,
Okay.
which when you say it takes a village,
Yeah.
a lot of people are really coming out there and spending a lot of time. I joke that I live out there and it is second home throughout the summer.
Right.
But
Well, there is a lovely house right next door. Maybe you all can
Rent
just
that out.
move in and
That is an idea.
yeah, there you go. Wonderful.
after some late rehearsals, that's not a bad plan.
That's not a bad idea.
Wonderful. Anything else you would like to share about the organization?
I did just want to touch on the actual dates
Sure,
of the
please do.
shows since
Please
I went through our list, but The Odd Couple will be running May 19th through 21st and 25th through 28th. The Crucible is June 22nd through 25th and 29th, 30th, June 29th through July 2nd.
Okay.
There we go. July 27th through 30th and August 3rd through 6th will be Cinderella. And then finally, we're closing things out with 12th Night, which is going to be August 31st through September 3rd and September 7th through 10th.
Takes you through the whole summer. Sounds
Yep.
like a wonderful
Sure
summer.
does.
Yes.
Great. And a lot of different, each one is different.
Yes.
And these are kind of our greatest hits, too, in
looking
that
back
these
on it.
are shows that have all been performed at least twice over our 50 years. So we just wanted to make sure for our big 50th season, we really paid homage to the history of the organization. So we went back and tried to get shows that everyone's going to know exactly what they're getting into when they come and
Exactly.
see these things, and shows, like I said, that have just been done before and have been successful before.
Well, that's great. Well, congratulations on 50 years.
you.
Thank you.
I hopefully we won't be here in another 50 years talking about it. Somebody hopefully will be.
I'm crossing my fingers
I'm
still.
hoping to.
Who knows with the technology what they'll be
That's
able
right.
to
There
do
you
with
go.
us, But again, I appreciate your time. Thank you for everything that you
thank
do
you.
for the community. I look forward to coming out there, and there's nothing like live theater, being outside. I love that aspect, and so again, thank you for all that you do.
Sure, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it.